Guitar Stories Part 2. Today is a 1979 Greco precision bass. So specifically a PB-500, if you're into that kind of thing. So in the 60s, Fender got bought out by CBS, and then they started cutting quality. So in the 70s, you start seeing the quality slowly decline. They went from 4-bolt neck plates to 3-bolt and that kind of thing. But the Japanese were getting much better at manufacturing, and so they started making all these things like Strats and Tellys and P basses and things like that. And they started getting better and better and started doing better than the Americans were, because the Americans were getting worse and worse. So companies like Greco started really making killer stuff, especially once you get to the late 70s. In, I think it was 1983, Fender had realized this and took over the Fujigen factory that made the Grecos at the time to start making Fender Japan stuff. So anything in the 80s that you see, like if you buy an 83 Fender Japanese P-bass, it's made in the same factory with the same wood, same pickups and everything, and it just has a Fender logo instead of that. So I, ever since I was a teenager, wanted a Greco, probably a Strat or a P-bass, something like that. And so finally, when I started gigging a lot on bass a few years ago, I started looking out again because I really wanted a Greco, and I thought this was the perfect time for it. So I ended up buying this. This is a 1979. I got a really killer deal on it from Reverb because the pickups aren't original, but the pickups come from an 80s Japanese Squier P-bass. So they were made in the same factory with the same components. So it's basically, it's as close to the original pickups as you can get. But this is a fantastic bass. Everybody that has played it or heard it has absolutely loved it. It's everything I had hoped for in a Greco bass. So there you go. Guitar Stories Part 2.